lost our therapist, but we feel like we need it.
This podcast is like our group therapy.
You, me, and listener, come sit down on the couch
as we talk about writing, storytelling, reading, and publishing. Nailed it.
God, we need to like both be actually reading from the same script.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be a benefit. Couple of heroes right here. So hi, Kate. How are you?
Oh, I'm, like 10 minutes less good than, I don't know. We lost 10 minutes of recording, listener.
Yes. I feel like, we have been lucky enough that hasn't happened before. Like,
at least for a whole episode. Okay, well, so there was a moment where I messaged you and I said, I don't know if I could do podcast because I just deleted 3 episodes.
Yes.
Did that give you a fun little heart attack too?
No, just a huge sympathy for you. Like a really big sympathy.
Because you're like, you're gonna redo it.
Kinda.
You're gonna redo it.
I didn't realize I don't know if I can do podcasts meant like I don't know if I can do podcasts, period. I thought that was like I don't know if I can do podcasts right now. Like I might need to take a break sort of thing. I didn't realize that was like I would have been more panicked had I known your context. So
oh no, I was like having a weird little God, this is why I don't do I've lost all my film school teaching. I clearly don't even know how to edit because I didn't do this function correctly, and Adobe Premiere is stupid. And then anyone who heard me say Premiere is going to be like, what? Why are you using that to edit?
Except for me, who is like, like, Adobe? Like, I have no idea. I think I have Adobe on my computer. I would imagine so.
I would be surprised. It's you gotta pay like 30. No, it's increased. It's a subscription per month kind of thing.
Okay, I probably don't have Adobe then. So
like a lot of people go to extreme lengths to find ways to not have to use the Adobe suite. They started out like having a lot of really great products that just are so good to create on, but then they kind of changed their model. It was when I first got Adobe, I got a tablet, kind of like a cheap tablet.
Yeah.
And Adobe was the free software that came with it. Or like you got a copy of it with the tablet. And I used that for 10 years. And then way longer than I was supposed to. But Adobe's like, no, you have to pay on a monthly basis. And, you have to have a specific plan, the way that all the software is going.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I don't even want to say it out loud because none of us need that. But if Scrivener ever decided to not make it a one-time purchase, that would be a big blow.
Oh.
That would be a big
I didn't realize
blow.
They weren't.
Oh, yeah, it's a one-time purchase.
See, that's why I wasn't bothering with it, because like...
I am not endorsed by Scrivener, but they should pay me. Any chance I can talk wonderfully about them. Like, I am so not tech savvy. I'm not, I'm not gonna embarrass myself, right? But, like, I am not tech savvy. And Scrivener just makes so much sense. It is so intuitive. I mean, it's so convenient. Like, okay, so you have, like, your whole program, right? You have a chapter, and then you realize, that chapter would be better if I put it 2 or 3 chapters ahead. You just pull that chapter, and you just pull it up to where you want it. No copy and pasting. You just move it. And, like, that's so convenient to me.
You can do that in Word, but...
You can what?
You can do that in Word, but you have to know how to do it.
Yeah, no, Word is not as intuitive to me.
Okay.
It's not nearly. And like storyboarding and stuff like that, the way Scrivener makes it possible for me to edit as well is really good for me. One-time purchase, and I love them.
One time I accidentally deleted Word off my computer
Oops.
because I was trying to make space. And and so I downloaded a free version because I wasn't going to pay for Word. Free software, which was called LibreOffice, which does pretty much, it's a Word lookalike.
Okay.
But it's like, you can tell it's kind of a downgrade because it doesn't know English grammar as well.
Gotcha.
And its spell check kind of isn't great, and it's got some weird, like, you'll format something this way and then the formatting will just randomly change on you. And it just can't hold the, like, multiple formatting decisions in its head. I don't know. I don't want to dunk on LibreOffice.
Yeah.
It works. It's fine. It's serviceable.
Yeah.
You just, have some little headaches with it.
Yeah, it's been so long since I guess it's been like 5 years that I've been working with Scrivener that, like, so yeah, it's definitely where I feel most confident, and like my style has adapted really well to that program.
Yeah.
So,
no, I get
yeah.
you. Every time NaNoWriMo comes around, I'm like, and they have that whole try Scrivener for the first time for a month for free. And I'm like, I guess that's where I got into my head that it's like some months aren't free,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think it was only like, it wasn't even that expensive.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember how much it was because it was 5 years ago. And I think I bought it because I got the 50% off thing they had a coupon that if you got the 50,000 words in for Nano, you would get the 50% off on the Scrivener program. Anyway, whatever. So we were going to talk about, like, the FOMO. Well, we did talk about, and we're going to talk about it again. We did talk
a little bit about FOMO.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll be a little more organized this time.
Maybe. I mean, you would hope it's like a take two and we get to, like, do revisions, but I always feel like we're better the first time.
Well, so I think, like, this past year, at least, there's been kind of a timeline. You got into your anthology, and I was like, oh my god, I want to be there. And then you were talking about when I released Love, Laugh, Lich.
Which is not Live, Laugh, Lich. It's Love, Laugh, Lich. So in case anyone else was concerned.
We had, like, a minor epiphany.
Yeah, where I realized that her name's not Kathy, it's Kate.
Oh, yeah. Been waiting on that one for a while.
But yeah, when you released that, I definitely was like, I want to put something out. Like, Kate just put it out. She didn't wait like 6 months and make sure that, like, she had 3 things to go with it. Like, she just did it, and so it's made me very much like, I want to just do it. Like, I want to just put something out. I want people to be able to read.
Well, so my putting it out process was definitely just kind of like, can I scoot this off my desk? There wasn't...
It's like a cat patting it off.
Yeah, it's like, can I get out of here? Which is not to say I don't appreciate, like,
you love it.
You love your stories like they're all precious little children, but it's also like, can you go?
Can you go? I feel like you have matured to the level where you can just fly. Okay, so just go.
It's like, I feel like you should be better than this. When I say this, I mean, like, the release process was very scattered and very minimal. I did, I think, the bare minimum because I was like, it's not going to be perfect. And if I tear my hair out trying to make it perfect, and then it's not going to be... There's no way that, your first novella that you have no advertising for is going to be any kind of a hit,
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah.
And I didn't, I think if you put a lot of effort into it and then you're not getting the returns on that effort, then you're gonna be really upset with it. And sometimes you gotta recognize that no matter how much effort you put into this, only so much of it is gonna come back.
Yeah.
Just because of the circumstances of, this is the first.
Like the cost to good sort of thing. Like, this will only have so much value because it's a novella, because, this is my first, because I haven't reached a broader audience through, my network reach, right?
Yeah, it's like, I don't have an audience yet.
Yes.
I need to build that, and I don't have a...
Well, and this is frankly a part of building that. Is like, hopefully I get
step one.
More readers, hopefully I get more follows, and like stuff like that. Yeah, it's step one.
There's no hitting home runs on step one, and you have to, like, really come to terms with that, I feel like.
Well, and like, we say there's no, but then of course there's the outliers.
I'm sure there's somebody.
Well, like...
Don't count on it.
Yeah, don't count on it. No. But, like, I don't know a bunch about Colleen Hoover, but I do know, like, she did a TikTok about putting out her first book. She self-published it. And she didn't have a professional editor. She just did her best because she was didn't have like the funds to have that. She made her own cover and it ended up like being a bestseller. Like, and it's just one of those totally, you know, serendipitous moments where I'm sure she put out the right book at the right time. She is an outstanding writer, you know, she was able to shine. And so yeah, there are people that like that will happen, but like you said, like don't count on it. Like be prepared to just put it out and just keep building, just to continue being a little workaround.
Yeah. I think if you tell yourself you're gonna be a smash hit the first step out of the door,
that would be so disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're really getting into the therapy part, because this is something I've actually talked about in therapy. So, like, I've been doing my job hunt, and, you know, I finally got a job today.
Woohoo! Congratulations!
You know, you were instrumental in that.
Aww.
But the thing was, because of the process, you know, through all the jobs that I've applied to, you know, there was one I got really excited about, and then they really dragged the process out, and then they said, actually, we're not going to hire anyone, and we're just going to make someone else who works here do some really shitty Photoshop. And I was like, oh, so you don't want the 10 things that I made for you that you asked me to make for you?
I can't believe it was 10 things. That is so unreasonable. Like, God, like, if you can't get a sense of, like, my aesthetic, and if it'll serve you by 3 things, like 10 is such an overreach.
Yeah. And like that's actually something I really like, the place that I got the job at today and signed the paperwork and everything. Woohoo! The thing that I really liked about the way they gave me their test was they talked about, this is kind of the process of everything you'll be doing here, and it's taking a product from the first stage of the marketing process to the last stage of it, creating all the content that you need for it.
Sweet.
And, you know, I felt so confident in every step of that process.
That's awesome.
But anyway, so this is not... we're going off topic into the positive
as
stuff
we
for
do.
once.
Oh, look at us go! little rays of sunshine.
But so, like, oh, God. Am I losing my train of thought? Yes, I am.
Okay. We were talking about... Oh, you said in therapy.
In therapy, yeah. Talking about, you know, kind of like forcing your own expectations up and down. You know, I feel like when you have anxiety, and like if you have anxiety, you're prone to coming up with the worst of it. It's, oh God, I'm just not gonna get this. It's all gonna be the worst outcome situation. And I'm just gonna imagine how terrible it could possibly be. But I think there's also... And, like, obviously that's unhealthy.
No, but
you really want to try to stop yourself from doing that if you can, and find methods to make yourself move. Turn your train of thought around. Go in other directions. Think about literally anything else.
Just turn the channel.
Yeah. God, I get that in the middle of the night where it's like, oh God, there's a serial killer outside. I know it. The only way I can make myself stop thinking about this is if I play Tetris for like an hour.
That sounds exhausting.
I know, I hate it.
That sounds really challenging. My thing is just like, I'll catch myself like in thoughts. What would be considered invasive thoughts, I think?
Yeah.
I'll be able to catch myself in them and like, okay, that's where you're at right now. And like, yeah, change the channel, take some deep breaths, think about like, why am I considering this? Like, where is the root?
Yeah. And you need someone sometimes to like really ground you in reality.
Oh yeah.
And be like, this is unrealistic. And your brain is telling you that this is an outcome that is realistic. When it's like the world cracks in half. Like that's what you're thinking about.
Well, and like if Andrew is awake, I can be like, hey, this is where my head's at. Will you just start talking about something? That really helps. But my anxiety manifests in its own way, where instead of thinking like this is the worst thing that could happen, I think like this is what will likely happen. Like it's totally middle of the road. I probably will have a couple readers. I'll get some reviews and it's going to be totally fine. Cool, great. It would be really cool if I went in the other direction and everything like flew, but that's so unlikely.
Right. Well, so you're kind of talking about something that's like an actual technique that therapists do recommend and have recommended to me.
To like set your expectations at what is most realistic.
Your brain's already taken you down this road of worst possible outcome, and then you have to sort of force yourself in the other direction and say, okay, well, what's the best possible outcome? And then you kind of have to find the exact middle and say, well, this is what's realistic, which is maybe some people won't like it, maybe some people will. People a few people will read it. Maybe it's not as many as I want, but probably more than I expect.
Well, and then, you know, they always say, like, no, like find a very attainable, like, level of success that you could expect. So that when things are normal and they go normally, like, what moments of success can you pull from, sort of thing, to keep you going?
Yeah.
I just have such a hard time with anything but positive affirmation. Like, it is like, honestly, it's like embarrassing. Like, how much, like, and it's like, if I'm face to face with you and you give me a critique on my writing, right? If you give me a critique on the story, like, I'm good, I've got that, cool, great, I can totally take that and process it, awesome. It's like some stranger making like a disparaging comment that literally hasn't happened, but like, I have to keep myself from being like, that would just paralyze me. If I let myself continue to think about that, that would keep me held back. Yeah. And like, I know it's gonna happen. My favorite books have 1-star reviews where people say terribly mean things that might honestly be rooted in truth, but that it didn't work for them. Like, the things they don't like about it, I love about it. And I just have such a hard time with that. I think that's why I don't like voicing strong opinions in general. I don't know how people, like, because I will do a review on a book, but I will not rate a book, right? Like, I'll be like, this is what I enjoyed about it. Go forth. Like, that's it. Or like, this was my reading experience with it. But I don't like 5-star review. Like, I don't like rating things because I just don't feel like it's fair, right? Because for me, like, 5-star is perfect, right? So like, how could I ever give a 5-star for anything that didn't change my effing life?
Yeah, no, 5-star is like, I feel like you want it to be reserved for the things that are like so beautiful that it legitimately touches you and you think it's just literally perfect.
Yeah, but that's you and me, right? Not everybody has that same like definition of what a 5-star rating is. Also, I want 5-star ratings. And I just, you know, like, I hope everyone isn't as critical as I am. Like,
God, what a world it would be.
What a world it would be.
God, I think it's because, like, the things that are so good, you kind of want them to have their own pedestal.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing above 5 stars. Yeah.
Yeah. So their pedestal, and I want to have the same pedestal.
I know, like, you want to be on that pedestal of perfection. And then
I want to believe that I could step on that pedestal. But again, it's a sliding scale. So, like, what I'm going to write isn't going to be a 5-star for someone else, right? Like, there are plenty of people that would read my books and be like, yeah, absolutely, this was beautiful, it touched my heart, I felt all the feelings, right? But
and then other people who are like, it wasn't for me.
Yeah. You and I have a book that everyone raves about. Everyone is so excited about this book, and you and I are both like, that is so meh. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, no, I know what you're talking about.
And if you want to know, listener,
if you want to know what book we want to dunk on. God, I need to stop saying dunk on every single podcast, but like, that's my politest way to put it.
Every time you say dunk, I want to go swish.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net. Just so not a dunk. But
oh, okay. I don't know basketball.
That's so funny because I almost said that's baseball. Like,
oh my god. Dunks are definitely basketball.
They're so basketball. Oh, they're so basketball.
And nets are basketball.
Yeah, because that's
too,
where
right?
That's where they like jump and they grab the rim or something, and they like they don't grab the rim. Anyway, they jump and they put the ball directly in the hole, the hoop.
Oh, but I guess nothing but net would be from afar.
Yeah, that's a swish. Because I am a sports professional.
The other place I was interviewing at was a sports collectible place, and
that would have been,
you know, initially I know every time I interviewed, like, they said, do you like sports? And I would be like, my dad likes the Mets. And they'd be like, oh, good. I like the Mets too. And I'd be like, World Championship, right? And he goes, yeah. And, oh, God, there's no such thing as a World Championship in baseball. I actually got corrected on that in an interview.
Oh, there isn't?
There isn't.
What
but
is
there
it?
Is? I think, is it the playoffs? But we're past the playoffs. I don't know.
I'm so confused.
Anyway.
Okay, so baseball's still going? Because we are past baseball.
Baseball just ended.
Okay.
No more baseball ever.
No more baseball, which, I mean, if you were to... I'm going to piss some people off. If you were totally eradicating all sports, I'd be like, cool, great.
I mean, okay, baseball can stay, but like... I know nothing about it still. We could get rid of soccer and football. I'd be fine.
I'm more interested in soccer than anything else. Football, I don't know. Everybody just gets so my thing with sports is everybody gets so excited about them, and I'm like, I just don't get it. Look, I can watch people play their sports, right? Like I can watch these athletes, and I'm like, wow, that is an impressive display of athleticism. That's truly incredible. So talented. Very impressive. But I don't want to watch them do it 8 more times in this game. You know what I mean? I've seen their trick. I'm bored.
Yeah. God, my cousin Jack is very athletic.
Uh-huh.
I say this because at our family reunion a couple of months ago, we always have a kickball game.
Mm-hmm.
And, everyone's a little drunk while they're playing it.
Okay, this sounds like
it used to be for the kids, but we're all grown up now. But so, he's, shotgunning beer after beer. And so, but he's also performing these massive feats of athleticism that no one else can compare to. He's catching every ball, he's diving across the field, but then, he would, I want to say every 20 minutes or so, he would kind of, retreat to a corner of the field and vomit. And then he would chug another beer, and then he would come back and play more, and I'd be like, I'm terrified. I know he's 22 or something, and I'm just like, I was that age at some point, and I was not that good at anything. I wasn't even half that good.
Yeah, no, that is some conditioning in both directions.
Oh yeah, no,
Jack has been being 22 and enjoying himself and building the tolerance of binge drinking, and he's also been following the athleticism. So these two things are coming together in one moment for him.
Oh yeah, no, it was, I think we were all just kind of awestruck and taken aback.
Yeah, that's whoa. Pretty horrifying. I also would be like, dude, Jack, you can just have the ball, okay? Clearly,
yeah, we don't need to play. We don't need to be killing yourself over this.
And then also, I don't want you coming near me right now. Your tum-tum doesn't feel good, and I don't want to be vomited on by a 22-year-old man, okay? It's gonna be a hard pass for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I realized then, oh God, I haven't, done a sport in a 5-year. And it's hard.
And one of my favorite things about, non-sporty people is we just call it sport.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you got the sport ball.
Oh, okay.
You kicked the ball.
Because, Andrew was in Michigan. The Michigan State U of M game is a big effing deal.
Okay.
Most everyone has quite the alliance in this state.
Yeah.
And so Andrew was leaving work on last Friday, and they're like, I don't know, they said something about the game, and Andrew's like, what game? And they're like, oh my God, the game. And Andrew's like, is it football right now? Right? And that's exactly because Andrew told me, I was like, there's a game tonight? Would it be football? I only know because of it's fall and football's a thing in the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love my sport-free life.
Yeah, me too. I am very fond of not having to talk to people about sports, and it's always such a jarring turn of events when it's you sport. Back here.
Okay.
Cool. Oh, I forgot you guys existed.
I know.
All right, I think we're at our half hour.
I think so too.
We gotta.
Yeah. So should we say something that's
Yeah, let's say our outros.
Well, we can do an outro, but should we say something where are we just gonna cut? Are you just gonna find a nice place to cut?
Usually we just say goodbye. We can think of an outro. We don't have to be consistent for every episode.
I have an outro. I can read it. Just
oh, okay.
No big deal.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking we're gonna go from sports to thank you for joining us for this unlicensed session. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be
that
strange moment.
Thank you for joining us for the least professional therapy you've ever been to. And still haven't been to. You're not insured for this.
We are not therapists. I want to just make sure everyone knows. As if it wasn't clear the whole way through. This is
Yes, don't take anything we've said as advice. Or do if you want, but you didn't hear it from us.
Yeah, but it's not licensed, okay? So please subscribe, share, and review this podcast to help us reach new listeners. You can find Kate Pryor on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok at by Kate Pryor.
Oh, no. Just Instagram and Twitter. Not on Facebook.
Oh, okay. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Marty the Author or at my website at www.martyv.com. Have a lovely day. Bye. I love you.